afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another discussion.
Yes, it's
Afternoon of discussion. We have a special guest today that will be joining us with a uh, interesting topic, and we will be discussing on both aspects how you can tell if your pets are healthy and how your pets can tell if you're healthy. So with me today is my co-host, Dr. Ivy. Hello, Dr. Ivy.
so almost 1 year, Dr. Gills, right? From the last that we had our talk, was it? This is best time na parang Christmas no event. So for today, we will be discussing about how you can tell when they're healthy, even at home. Okay? So please remember again, it would be nice if you can actually interact with us. We have several door prizes from Beringer Ingelheim that your pets can actually use. Okay? Let's proceed to our first slide, which discusses about our pets coat. Okay, the coat, as we all know, it should be shiny, it should be clean, especially for cats. When our cats are dirty, it only means one thing: they are sick, okay, and they need our attention, meaning veterinarian's attention, okay?
Yes, the coat is an early indicator of a lot of diseases. We've even seen um, the coat being an indicator of problems internally, such as urinary stones. We have had several cases, right, Dr. Ivy, wherein the dog had had really, really bad coat until the stones were removed, and then suddenly we see a totally different animal.
Back to good health. Our next will be their eyes. So the eyes should always be clean. It should be clear of any secretion. So it means that you see excessive namuta. There's something wrong with them. Look at the eyes. It should be white, not reddish. There shouldn't be ulcerations. So if you see any of this, immediately um, they need help. E-collar will help them as well.
Yes, the eyes are the mirrors into the soul, as they say. So it's very, very important. One of the first things that veterinarians take a look at, and we can see several problems just by the eyes themselves.
Mhm. Now, then we look at their gums. So if you have your pet beside you right now, take a look at their gums. It should not be white. It should not be red. It should be bright pink. Okay, because white may indicate anemia, and then red may actually indicate poisoning in some cases. But the pink, healthy pink, is what we are aiming for. It's like the part of our finger wherein when we touch it, dapat mubalik siya, na immediately it should go back to its normal white coloring. If not, then most probably our pet is anemic.
Yes, and just along with the gums, you can take a look at the teeth
Mhm.
because um, our pets use their mouth a lot, and the teeth is a very good indicator of how healthy the animal is. If your dog or cat has bad teeth, your gums will be bad, and everything else will follow.
Very nice. Thank you, Dr. Gills. And then the ears. If you can smell obnoxious and smell, pagpasok pa lang ng aso, no? And it really stinks like buwad, okay? Look inside, it might be greenish, blackish, or yellowish. Definitely there is an infection there, and please do not wait for it to worsen. As soon as possible, they will need medical help. But if you can manage them at home and clean it, all the best, okay?
Yes, one of the um, important things when you get a pet is try to figure out what their predisposition. By predisposition, we mean what are they prone to getting. So, perfect example: this Basset Hound is very prone to ear problems because look at the size of the ears. They're gigantic, and they're not like this. They don't walk around like Dumbo with his ears up in the air. They're usually down, and the ears are a perfect um, melting pot for bacteria and yeast in the sense that it's dark, it's wet, and it's perfect. It has earwax, which is perfect food for bacteria and yeast
And mites too.
and mites.
And then when we call them, we need to get their attention. Most of the time, we get the attention of the dog, but for cats, well, you know them, they're cats, they're always snobbish. But when we call them, they need to know their names. Do you know that some of them could actually have cognitive dysfunction syndrome, and that's common for older animals? It's like Alzheimer's in humans, wherein their attention is no longer there. We think that they're old, but actually not. No? They're actually losing their sense of attention, and there are supplements that we can actually give them to improve that. Okay.
Yes, when it comes to attention, there are different ways to make sure that um, they are paying attention to you. Cats, you can play. Dogs, it's usually food. Though some dogs like play, and this is important. They need mental stimulation, like Dr. Ivy mentioned. If not, they are prone to having this cognitive dysfunction as they get older. So mental stimulation in form of play, in form of puzzles that they need to get a treat, or they have a bowl that they have to figure out before they get their treat. All of these things are good uh, additions to any pet's household.
Yeah, and if you're tech savvy, you can give them your iPad for them to play and run around with a laser live on your iPad. Okay. And then we proceed to stance. We don't really need a perfect stance. Our pets are not for show. Not everybody are good for show. But then what we wanted to see is that they can actually stand. They can walk. Nah? So all 4 feet should be useful, because if not, then most probably there's a problem there. It might be a central nervous system problem, or it might actually be a muscular problem. So we need to check that one.
Now, breed predisposition comes in again. Like, for example, a dachshund will always have shorter legs than most uh, every other breed. There are very few breeds that have shorter legs than a dachshund, maybe a corgi. But these breeds, because of their stance, because of the way they stand, because they have shorter legs, are prone to spinal problems. So these are things that you need to keep in mind as well. So um, one of the first indicators may be that your dog is limping with its hind legs, but it's actually a problem with its spine. So it's something that if you catch it early, it's always better.
Yeah, do you know that munchkins are the exact equivalent to cats for dachshunds? Cute na cute with short legs. Okay. And then the body condition score. Body condition score should be normal. Our pets shouldn't be thin. Our pets shouldn't be fat. They need to be just right. Okay. Because too much fat in the body means that they are inflamed in some way. And no fat in the body means that they can actually use up the reserves that they need for their development.
Yes, and a lot of owners like some of their pets to be a little overweight, and it's not a good thing, especially with uh, dogs and cats. No, cats especially because they're prone to heart problems. Dogs as well. Problem with cats is they like to hide. They're very good at hiding things, so it's very difficult to detect whether or not they have a cardiac problem. So keeping them at their ideal body condition score will help prevent a lot of these diseases.
And lastly, we wanted to have a good general condition score, meaning our pets need to be apparently healthy when we see them, and at least they are apparently normal.
So by general condition, it is very important for your veterinarian, especially if we've had a lot of patients wherein they're connected, or clients that are connected with their pets, and they say, "Oh, something's just not right." And this is just because of the general condition. They might just not be their usual selves. They're not feeling themselves. And me personally, I like clients who are very in tune with their pets, because it means usually that we're able to catch these problems much earlier on. So a lot of times it's something that it may be as simple as a cold that they're coming down with, or it may be something more complicated like blood parasites that they're feeling down and blue, and they're not their usual selves. So this is the general condition, their overall health and how they're feeling.
So now that we've heard about what we can do, no, to make our pets healthy at home, this afternoon actually our pinaka main is that we wanted to know what our pets helped us with, no, during the pandemic, especially now that we are already exiting the quarantine period. So this afternoon we have Miss Anna Marie Duay Into. She is a registered psychometrician since 2014, and currently she's finishing her master's degree in clinical psychology at the University of San Carlos, and she's currently an interventionist at Magoni Home. Let's all welcome Miss Anna Marie.
We're having technical difficulties. We will hold on for Anna to come back. Uh, Let us
Oh,
wait for a bit. Yes.
okay. So while waiting for her, why don't we ask some questions? So currently, we got a lot of door prizes from Beringer. And then, do you know that we have opened officially our Robinson's Galleria Basement 1 branch. No? Okay, celebration will soon follow, but right now you can visit us if you need pet products as well as pet services. Now, question number one: what is that breed that that is prone to ear infection? The one that we focused earlier. Okay, the first five that can get their answers right will get a poop dispenser with a plastic that you can use while you go and visit malls, with your pets. Okay, let's take a look. Do we have our first five winners? And then you can,
Close but not correct. No one's correct so far.
okay, maybe you can post it again, Doc Gills.
Um,
They look
Miss
like
Anna is here already,
Anna's
so we
here.
will. Yes.
Okay. So we will continue later on with that one, and we will show you the picture so that you can get the correct answer. Okay. Okay. Again, introducing you, Miss Anna Marie Duay Into, our registered psychometrician.
Hi, thank you, Doc Ivy, and thank you, Doc Gills, for introducing. Now, for the audience, I will be talking more about how pets can actually benefit our health and how they can contribute to our overall well being. Okay, so let's see. Right, so there's the corgi flying. Okay, first of all, having pets can actually change your lifestyle for the better. For those who do not often engage in exercise and often end up always in bed or being a couch potato, having a pet can actually make you move around. Walking your pet, feeding your pet can actually make you more engaged and can also spend your energy on something, a good occupation. Next. All right. So, what happens when we tend to move around, exercise, and what happens when we also pet, cuddle, and hug our pets? There is that release of the hormone called oxytocin. Oxytocin is referred to as the love hormone, which we get when we cuddle, hug, or yes, hug somebody which we really care about deeply. And this also applies to pets. When we hug the pets that we love, or generally the pets that we have in the house, there is that release of oxytocin, which is responsible to make us feel positive emotional states. For this reason, it also tends to ease up our anxiety and depression. So for those individuals who feel uh, who are often downhearted, and when this comes unnoticed, often develops to depression, having a pet can actually ease up that kind of feeling. For kids, some kids experience what we call separation anxiety. When both their parents are at work, they tend to be left around the house most of the day. So, having a pet around whom they can actually love and whom they can actually take care of will actually boost this sense of security. And these will somehow ease out their transition from separation anxiety from their parents. Oh, I'm sorry for this one. What is this? Oh, it's a positive self image. Now, pets are born to just love and care, to bring laughter, to bring smiles to people. And unlike our parents and unlike our some of our teachers, they are non-judgmental at all. So young children can talk to them, express themselves as much as they want. So this tends to develop into a positive self-image for the child because he is able to express himself without being judged. A sense of responsibility. They tend to develop the sense of responsibility at a young age. They will have that kind of um, motivation to feed and take care of the pets whom they really love. Okay. For people also who have come a long way in life and are already in old age, when we grow old, most of the things that occupied most of our time before when we were younger, I'm speaking as if I'm already old, but anyways, um, children move out from their parents' houses. So oftentimes, parents who are already in old age are left alone. So they having a pet around the house will give them a sense of companionship. Whenever they are lonely, they can talk to the pet, cuddle the pet. Yes, and of course, meaning in life. When we reach old age, we tend to think about what are the things that we have done in life. And somehow, having so much of the things that we used to care about leaving us all behind, in old age, um, people usually tend to degenerate and think that life is already meaningless and they are left already to, how do you call this, to be bored, bored to death. But then having a pet in life actually gives them some sort of morale, boost up their morale, positive self-confidence, as well as a sense of meaning in life wherein they can actually take care of something that depends on them, most especially if this pet comes from a shelter or this pet came from the streets. This is when the person or the old person adopting the pet tend to see that they have given a home, they have given another second chance in life for something which could have been euthanized inside a dog pound or could have died on the streets because of the recklessness of others.
Yes, Anna, I'd like to add something to that. Our kid, he's only 7 year old, and then he's like this. He found meaning in life because he acted like an older mother to our pets.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yes, he has indeed developed a very strong sense of responsibility also, and yes, a meaning and purpose of his, I know, of his existence as a human person, caring for something beyond himself. That is a good sign of a responsible person, right? So I think that's the end of my presentation.
That's very, very helpful. And I think during the pandemic, like how many people actually do you know, started getting pets? Kana wala gyud pet before, and then all of a sudden they decided to get a pet in the
That's
pandemic.
very true. When during the surge of the pandemic inside the center where I was in, we had a lockdown, major lockdown, in which even the employees, us ourselves, we have to stay inside the confines of the compound. We cannot go home to our families. So most of the time, we have this particular employee whose family is not even present here in Cebu, who's present in Bohol. So he only has his friends. Now he cannot even go out to his friends anymore and spend time with them because of the lockdown. So there was one time when we saw a chat from him on Messenger, with a picture of a puppy, telling us that he has gotten a pet and he is taking care. So the name of the pet is Panther. So a mixed Filipino and Dutch Hunt breed. Yeah. So that's his pet. The name is Panther. A very cute puppy. Now he has grown so big already. And this has actually helped him a lot. And not only him, but also our clients. Now, by the way, just to inform you, I am the assistant psychologist of Magoni Home. So Magoni Home is a center which takes care of children who had been in conflict with the law, or in some areas outside the Philippines are referred to as delinquents. And these children are often seen to be or perceived to be as aggressive, having behavioral misconduct. But because we have pets inside the center, we have how many dogs? One, two, three, four, around four. We have four dogs which they can actually take care of. The children actually has developed this sense of empathy, responsibility, and some sort of understanding, not just towards the pet, no, but towards their companions as well. 'Cause they
Mhm.
tend to apply that from the pet to their companions inside the center. And their aggressive tendencies has also declined significantly as per our observation. So in short, the pets have actually helped not only our staffs but also the boys, especially
Oh.
during the times of the pandemic.
Tinuod gyud di ay. What they said is that if you wanted your child to learn how to care, give him a pet as early as possible. And then we have, do you have any comments, Dr. Gils, or should we ask another question to Miss Anna?
I find it very interesting that it's actually scientific that pets have helped people through the pandemic, and I think we've noticed it second hand, so to say, that a lot of people that were taking in more pets, and we're seeing all sorts of pets. We're seeing rabbits, we're seeing tortoises, we're
Yes.
seeing hamsters, all sorts of things. So it's not just limited to dogs and cats, but
Yes.
it's nice to see that, these pets have a positive impact on people in this manner.
Yes, and by the way, Doc Ivy, I have read last night. No, I just happened to scroll on it. In Austria, they're actually employing dogs to accompany children who are actually having difficulties in reading. So
Wow.
in training children in reading, children who have this low confidence to express themselves and even read, having a dog beside them can actually help out that tension. Yes, their pulse are becoming more even as compared to the racing pulse whenever they are asked to read because they are nervous. So their nervousness, worry, uh, are actually have declined. So that's why they can actually already read. This helped them read more, be more engaged in learning because a dog is there. So in Austria, they're doing that. And even in some courts in the America or in other European countries, some there are also therapy dogs because children who are actually exposed to traumatic experiences in life tend to have, they tend to be very nervous. And can you imagine placing a child in front of the whole court and testifying to someone, but then having a dog beside the child actually eases the tension because the child can actually pet the dog. while talking, touch the dog's fur, and this eases out that feeling of nervousness.
It's amazing because when I was young, I also had stage fright. So when I practice with my dog, and then the dog, my good, they will only listen. They will not comment. They will not even laugh at you. So
True.
perfect kid kayo siya. And good thing about them is that they try to do the eye to eye contact. No? So
Yes.
another question there, Miss Anne. This one. Would you still continue recommending people to have pets even after the quarantine restrictions?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. Now, having a pet entails also some responsibility on the part of the owner, and it's not because the pet knows nothing about taking care of themselves. They only know how to love their humans. So us, the humans, have to take care of the pets. Now, I do really encourage that because being actively involved in raising a pet develops your sense of responsibility that there is someone depending on you, and at the same time you are becoming more active. So in some, well, of course, we have to also observe certain restrictions because of the pandemic, but even walking your pet around the neighborhood or even feeding the pet, it is actually already a small step in changing a very lazy lifestyle, so to say.
Really nice, no? Murabag, this is what our indicator is when we ask our client to make their pets lose weight. Once they start losing weight, it means that their patients are also losing weight. Okay,
Eh,
mudungan man sila. Okay?
That's
Um,
jogging with
yeah.
the pet.
Even walking alone really helps a lot. So, okay, before we proceed with questions from our viewers, we would like to acknowledge that we already have four winners of our first question. The answer is Basset Hound. Okay, now this is the next question, which is connected to Miss Anne's talk. Okay, what is that hormone that we release when there is a positive emotional state? It starts with letter O, and then we will give 10 collapsible cups that you can, or feeder that you can give to your pets, care of Beringer Ingelheim. Okay, have one winner. Okay. And then while we're waiting for more winners to respond, do you have any questions for Miss Anna this afternoon? Because this is a special na event, first time for us to invite a psychometrician on board.
One thing that Miss Anna said that is very important, which we'd like to stress also, is when you get a pet, it is a lifelong commitment. It's not just it's a puppy. I'm excited. No, you have to take care of the animal from puppy to adulthood to senior dog or cat. And just like old people, all of the problems will come out as they age. So be a responsible pet owner. I think we have our first question from Miss
Very interesting question from Miss Kathy Dante. How to comfort a child who lost a pet? This is very interesting, Miss Anna.
Oh my, I wasn't expecting that question, but yes, I it is really very common, children who have lost their pets, and not only children, but even adults who grew up as a child having their pets around them, and then, our pets don't stay for just like us, having a lifetime longer with our pets. They tend to die earlier as compared to us. So that really is an inevitable part or process of having a pet. Now, how to comfort a child who has lost a pet? Well, number one is, okay, I would not recommend you telling something which we do not really know if it's true. Telling the child that the dog is It's just around you, has turned into a ghost, lurking around you like that. So because what will happen to that is the child will tend to believe, that the dog is still present. So I think it would be best if we start, educating our child. We allow them. That is actually a very healthy emotion, because the child has lost something, and once we lost something, that is grief, and we really allow that. No, that is a natural emotional response to losing something. So we have to also educate ourselves that when a child loses a pet, grieving over it is not actually unnatural. So you just have to allow the child to experience the grief or the loss, because eventually also he will also move out of it, you know, uh, after a while. But then, while he is at it, the job of a parent is to actually, first of all, to educate the child, you know, uh, regarding the lifespan of the pet, and to also, this one is very important, to make the child feel, that he has taken good care, of the pet, especially if he really loves the pet so much, to make his actions of taking care of the pet be seen. No? So it is time for the parents to also recognize, the efforts of the child, the love of the child, the care, how caring the child is to the pet. And somehow, having you there and your presence, your grieving child over the loss of a pet, somehow eases also, or makes that process a little bit more, less uncomfortable for him or her. But yeah, you just allow
That's
that process to also pass by.
That's really, really nice. And yes, it worked for our kid as well. And I hope that also answers your question, Trish. It's almost the same as the question of
Just
Kathy.
allow it, Miss Trish. It will just pass by. And be with
Mhm.
your child. Be with your child as he goes with it.
Okay. So our
think
next, Mhm.
this is going to be one for us.
Yeah. So we'll answer this, Miss Anna. Okay. So why are we experiencing a lot of dogs nowadays getting sick or even die? So this is a very nice question. But lately, with the modification and improvement of science, we have noticed that our pets' lives are way longer than they used to be. So when I was young, a 3-year-old dog is already old for us, or a 7-year-old dog. But now we have met dogs that are 18, 17, 20, or even 21-year old, no? Or even cats that can reach up to 30 years old. So them getting sick now is like murabag, they have already entered into that cycle that their lives are already long. So I think that's one of the reasons why I think it's more common for them to get sick now. And then sometimes even with the best medicine that we have, we cannot control death. Okay. So what do you think, Dr. Gills?
I think a lot of people are, because of the pandemic, people are at home more and they're seeing their pets more often. And so a lot of these diseases are being seen much more than normally people would, because they're at home and they're with their dogs or cats, and they see that their dogs and cats are getting sick. So what usually you would go unnoticed because you're at work, you tend to see it more often, and then you you feel like they're getting more sick or getting sick more often. So I think it's both.
Addition to this one, also during the pandemic, more cats were sick. Why? Because the owners were there. They don't like people a lot. Okay. So do you have any more questions? Okay, Dr. Gills, I think it's nice if you can throw in one question for our clients, and then the prize for this one will be a puppy or a kitty collar, also from Beringer. We'll be giving away five.
So Aside from the gums, what other uh, part of the body is seen in the mouth that can tell that your dog is
Okay. So aside from the gums, what other part of the mouth, no, that is easily seen that you can tell that your dog is healthy? Clue. This part is actually very important because if it is dirty, then most probably our pet will have other internal problem, like the heart, the kidney, the liver. It can also have problems because of excessive bacteria. And it starts with letter T. Okay, we have one answer. Okay, okay. And then just five answers for this one. And then we proceed to Miss Anna. Miss Anna, do you have a question for our viewers?
Let me see. Okay. Okay. So just give one benefit. Could could having a pet play in your child's life? What particular benefit could actually play an important role in your child's life? Just give one.
Okay, so just give one. For this one, we will give away flea comb, okay, that you can use for your cat or dog, and we will give 10. Okay, but we only have one answer yet. So there
Just
are several benefits, remember? So Miss Anna's just asking for one.
for children, for children.
Okay, for
for
the
children.
children.
So while we're waiting for the answers, um, up on screen is our newly transferred branch in Robinson's Galleria. We are in basement one, just in front of the escalators going up, the main escalators in the middle. So the prizes will be uh, available. Some of the prizes will be available here, and some of the prizes will be available in Vivo Place in Escario. Just to let everybody know where they can pass by. Please do pass by and take a look at our new location. It has been a very long week for the office, and they have put a lot of hard work into it, and they made it look really, really nice.
And we unboxed it
Congratulations.
last night.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Again, we'd like to thank our office for making this possible and our Robinson's Galleria team. Okay, so Miss Anna, is our answer correct? Companionship? You're on mute.
I think I'll consider that.
Okay, so since we only have one answer for this one, then why don't we throw in other prizes like the poop dispenser as well as the cup that's collapsible and also the kitty collar, okay, by Miss Prish. Okay, all prizes. Okay, so from our audience, do you have any more questions? Now's the best time to ask while our professional fees all free. Okay, I think we have answered their questions. Miss Anna, Dr. Gills, would you like to add more? Oh, okay, one last question for our audience. Okay. Mm. Okay, so for our answers, Muna, before we proceed to another question, our first answer is Basset Hound. That's a breed of our dog. Second answer is oxytocin. And our third answer is the teeth. Okay, and the fourth, companionship, was allowed by Miss Anna. And our fifth question now is, okay, Can you name us? This is good for 10 prices again, okay? What do you call the breed of the dog or a cat? Okay, that is short. They are the shortest among the cats and the dogs. Okay, what do you call them? For dogs, they start with letter B. For cats, they start with letter M. Or, in short, we call them the short legged pets. Okay? Okay, we have, okay. So, okay, I can see that we have a lot of cat lovers. No, no dwarves. Okay, another name for dogs. No, not dwarves. Okay, lots of cat lover and one dog lover. Okay, so only 10 prizes, and the 10 prizes will be flea combs and also um, kitty and puppy colors. Okay, so okay, our answer for cats is munchkin, and then for dogs they are called dachshunds. Okay, I think we already have all 10 answers. Okay, and I think it's time for us to conclude, Dr. Gills.
Yes, sorry, technical difficulties. Um, Thank you very much, Miss Anna, for the wonderful presentation and the information. Uh,
Okay, it's very timely. Dr. Gills is on and off. Maugid, no? Basta may online problem. Okay, Miss Anna, what would you like to say to our audience?
Yes. Yeah, I think we have a lot of pet lovers here now, looking at this live stream. Well, I do hope that you'll be taking more care of your pets because your pets will never last the same lifetime as you do. No? Just like Doc Ivy said, at some point in their lives, they're going to enter that cycle in which they are about to say goodbye already to us. So, might as well we also give their entire short lifetime a very meaningful and a very hearty one for them to experience. Because in as much as we are taking care of them, they're also taking care, no, without them noticing, they're also taking care, not just on our physical health, but most of all our psychological and emotional health as well.
That's really, really nice. Okay. Okay. So for the 10 participants who just won, you may, the last, not the one who answered Dachshund and Munchkin, you may actually claim your prizes at Animal Wellness Vivo Place at Escario. Okay. Thank you so much, Miss Anna. It's very, very informative and it's really new. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Dr. Gills. Thank you. I would like to thank all our participants right now who are watching and answering and asking questions. Dako gyud kaayong tabang ni for us to improve our talk show. Thank you and see you again soon. Bye.
Can
Thank you,
we take
everybody.
Oh yes, yes, yes. We can take a picture and then sayang no, we cannot take photo with our participants. Guwapo unta. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay. And again, see you. And thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.